In February 2024, Czech President Petr Pavel announced that his country has found 800,000 artillery shells for the Ukrainian army. Soon we were talking about 1 million rounds, later about 1.5 million of them. They buy weapons from third countries outside the EU. About 15 states have expressed their readiness to finance the Czech initiative. Among them is Estonia, which has now itself found 1 million shells and missiles for Ukraine.
If we combine these 1 million shells, the Czechs' potential purchases, our buying capabilities, and also the British, who have indicated that they have some knowledge of where to buy shells, I dare to say that it would be possible to send Ukraine 2.5 million shells this year, if the funding were available. These 2.5 million shells would already be comparable to what the Russians can deploy. Hanno Pevkur, Minister of Defense of Estonia, in a comment to the Postimees publication. Estonia itself, like the Czech Republic, will not pay for these colossal quantities of shells, but they will look for money. This is very important because Estonia says, yes, it is great, but we now have the same shortage of money as it is in Ukraine with shells, so we must all unite. And here the importance of the number of participants grows significantly.
Estonia has access to various offers around the world. These include 122mm calibre missiles for Grad multiple launch rocket systems, 122mm artillery shells for houses, and 154mm shells. Altogether, according to the Estonian Minister of Defense, it could cost up to 3 billion euros. Information about suppliers is not disclosed, as with the Prague initiative, exporters are avoiding publicity.
There will be countermeasures from Russia, naturally. They will use diplomatic, economic and other means of pressure, so we need to be prepared for this. Any such operation to purchase weapons for Ukraine is a complex diplomatic action that requires serious support and is not guaranteed to be successful because Russia has tools to put pressure on certain states.
The Baltic countries, in particular Estonia, are active supporters of Ukraine in the EU and NATO. This is because the authorities feel a direct threat from neighboring Russia. The Estonian Foreign Ministry directly stated that if it were not for membership in NATO, Tallinn could have already become a victim of the Kremlin's aggression.
It cannot be ruled out that without NATO membership, our independence would have been threatened by now. It is possible that if Estonia had remained in the so-called grey zone, what we are currently seeing in Ukraine could have taken place on our territory. Margus Tsahkna, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Estonia, TV and radio company ERR reports.
Tallinn is actively preparing to repel a possible attack. The commander of the Estonian Defence Forces, Martin Herem, said that the state must double defence spending in the next 2 years. During this time, Estonia will be able to accumulate enough resources to inflict a decisive defeat on the aggressor. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Nikita Skoblikov, UATV News.